Hello, guys, and welcome to this episode, which is going to be very short. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to use something we call doc strings in Python. So, doc strings are text that we use to define our program or our functions or our objects that we define in Python. So I'm going to show you very quickly how to make a docstring. So let's make our program app.py. We already know how to do that, I'm assuming. So a docstring can start from anywhere in the file, but it is recommended that you do it at the very beginning, even before you start your importing and your programming. So it is a recommended thing. It is not something uh, that must be done. But when you want your code to be readable and you want the people who want to help you to actually do so easily, you have to have a docstring in your programs. So this is how to make a docstring. Very easy. That's it. I mean, that that that's it. I'm just joking. So this is the docstring for the program. You can put whatever definition you want here, and it is called a multi-line string by default. This is called a multi-line string. It is a string. It is written at the top of the program. That is why it is called a docstring, because of the placing. This is where we put, okay, almost time. This is where we put the the docstring, and then it will be called a docstring. So we'll get to this kind of format of strings when it comes to, okay, it's almost time. I have to round up. So this is what we call a docstring. This is a docstring, like this. You can go ahead to define what your whole program does. You can say this is my program that does uh, blah, 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 blah. Yes. So you can do it on multiple lines. You can define whatever it is that your program does, which is going to be easier for collaborators to help you in your coding. The next place that you can put these bad guys, put these doc strings, or just multi-line strings, we call them, is in functions. So when you define your function, func, like this, when we define our function, like this, here is where we put our docstring, which is to be in the beginning of the function. So as you notice, in the program, we put it in the beginning of the program. In the function, we put it in the beginning of the function, right? So this is the definition of my function. So this can also be multi-line. I can define it. I can tell you what to do with the function, what not to put in the parameters, and all these things in there. If you wanted, you could have used comments, but comments are not the conventional way to define what your code does. That's why these doc strings are created for multi-line purposes, so that you can do it on multiple lines and so that your IDE can read it. And when you hover over your function, as you notice, that is what it will show. This is the definition of my function, like that. So when you create your object as well, that is what is going to be required of you, my obj for object, like this. Guess where we'll put the docstring? You guessed it, here. So when we define our object, definition of our object, like this, so that when we hover, the person who is using our object or our class or our widget or our whatever we create, he will see the definition and will be able to use it. We can define to him what parameters to use, what to put in the parameters, and so on. So this is how you make docstrings. There are many ways to use this. You can assign this to a variable. We can say uh, we can say story. When we are writing a story, we can use this. Here it is called a multiline string. It's not called a docstring. This is not a docstring because we assigned it to a variable, and we are about to write a story with multiple lines. But it's not always recommended to hard code a story like this inside your programs. But either way, what this is a multi-line string, and when you do it in the context of your program and your functions and your objects, then it will be called a doc string. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you program things correctly in 6 minutes.